Hello, folks. Welcome back. So I hope you guys are doing great. So yesterday, WhatsApp was down for quite some time. And right after it went down, many people kept talking about a conspiracy. They blamed Facebook for it. They said they did it deliberately, on purpose. Right after that, Whistleblower, Frances Haugen, something like that, that was the name. She talked about Facebook. So she talked about how Facebook amplifies hate, misinformation, and political unrest. Well, that's obvious. I mean, anybody that used Facebook or uses Facebook knows about it. But they just don't talk about it because they're the ones that are the consumers. And of course, it feeds off of your emotions. I mean, that's how it keeps the machine running. So the guy on 60 Minutes talks about a complaint that alleges that Instagram harms teenage girls. Well, I'm not sure to what extent that's true, but well, in a way, it is. Look how it revved them up for TikTok. But what makes it different in her case is that she collected a lot of information, thousands of pages of information, private information that the outside doesn't know about. And she talked about it on Wall Street Journal, I believe. And while listening to her, I realized that she has a point. I mean, a conflict of interests is everywhere, but it's always calibrated. I mean, if you are in a society, if you are working in a company and you have conflict of interest with somebody there, or with one of your colleagues, it's always calibrated. Somebody always neutralizes the conversation or the dispute, or speed it up to its conclusion. But on Facebook, on social media, it's not calibrated in any way, I believe, unless you say something that is offensive and you get banned. I mean, although the conversation exists, communication exists on Facebook or on social media, but it doesn't contribute to social cohesion in any way. So it is contradicting the very message that it delivers, that it is for social cohesion, it is for a connection between different kinds of people around the world. And what makes it difficult for constructive conversations to take place or positive connections to be made is the algorithm of Facebook. It shows you information that you can engage in emotionally, not logically, because anything that requires reasoning is boring. Anything that is enticing gets you to respond in an emotional way and retains your attention for quite some time. So it's obvious they're going to enhance that property of Facebook. They're going to enhance certain traits of Facebook that keep your attention for a long time. And the high that you get from feeding your negative emotions is quite stronger than the high that you get when you feed your positive emotions. And I remember Gary Vaynerchuk say that, well, it's not the social media. Social media isn't bad. It just exposes who you are. Well, there's a flip side to that, don't you think? That we want kids to practice control instead of exposing completely who they are. So when Facebook says that it's going to make another Instagram, another platform specifically made for children, well, that's nonsense because it's going to operate on the same principles as it did before. It doesn't matter if you make it into something else. And it's not going to work because, well, it's not going to allow children from engaging in negative emotions. So they're going to go back to the Instagram that gave them the high. In a way, it does point to an innate flaw in our psyche because we are always attracted to that which is negative. And as far as the regulations go, as Francis Haugen said, well, there's no need to make regulations against these companies because it's ineffective. Who are making these regulations? The politicians, right? And who controls the politicians? Well, the corporations. Anyway, that's enough hate talk. We can only extend our efforts according to our capacity. You cannot change the rules of the world. You cannot change other people or the things that hurt you. But what you can do is to change your own thinking and enhance your abilities to detect bullshit. So watch, listen, and read until you're able to discern for yourself.